12 years ago, I was managing endometriosis symptoms, and today I am symptom free for over a decade. Not because of a miracle, which this is, but because I nourish my body. Veg Mom Go. You already know. Hi, so glad to see you again. Now, if this is your first time, welcome. I'm Carletta, your plant-based strategist, and today is not about medical advice or any kind of quick fix, but I'm someone who has been endometriosis-free for 12 years, and I had to tell you about the story. It's about my lived experience, what I tried, what worked, what didn't work, and how changing my relationship with food changed my relationship with my body. If you're navigating pain, burnout, or just wanting to know your body a little bit better, I want you to hear this from a place of honesty and hope. Again, not medical advice and not a quick fix. So a little bit of story time. This all started back when I was 12 years old, when I became a woman. And most women know what that means, but for our men, it's when we start our menstrual cycle. And sadly to say, I found out a very most painful way. So we were on a trip to my grandmother's when this happened, and I had every symptom that could be a symptom: vomiting, diarrhea. I know, TMI. But it was extreme pain, and I didn't know where it was coming from. And my mom, being a nurse of over 30 years, was confused herself. And so once we arrived at my grandmother's house, she said, "Oh, yeah, that runs in our family. I didn't know if you were going to get it. It's called endometriosis." And so she sat us down and told us all the things that came with it. And as much as we love our family and genetics, these are the things that we have to battle. Now from there, we went to our doctor once we arrived home, and she immediately put me on birth control pills. A non-sexually active preteen was on birth control pills for hormones. And so that's where it all started. Now with that came mood swings, came acne, I got alopecia. All of these things affected me, all from the medication. Now going throughout the years, you're taking this for over a decade, and there are side effects of that. From there, one day I decided, after I had started dating my husband, my boyfriend at the time, now my husband, letting him know that I might not be able to have children. And he was like, "I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Like, we are going to have kids, and we're going to be a huge family. This is pre-kid, so we only had two." So from there, I really actually was going on this journey to clear up my skin. Now, I'd already been vegetarian for a very long time. I was still eating eggs and cheese and butter and milk. And milk was very limited. I didn't know that all of this change would make a difference in everything, not just my skin, but that was the main focus at the time. So I got this book, as you can see, one of my favorite books, and I still reference the book. It was the turning point in my life. So I read Kimberly Snyder's Detox Foods, and I learned how to make food work for me and not against me. Now, that just wasn't only eggs and cheese and dairy, but it also was sugar. I had to learn how to cut that down. And if you met my family, you would know we are some sugar people. We love a good dessert. We love a good candy. It was actually kind of devastating. Most people was like, cheese. Oh, I can't give up cheese. Mine was sugar. And having to cut down on that was really hard for me. Now, this was not an overnight fix. This was not an overnight flip. It was a gradual change. I started with doing all my research, which I always recommend to people who are starting a new journey. And let me just say, I was very skeptical. But at the same time, I had been going this long. I wanted to try something extremely different so I can get an extremely different result. Now, also as a Seventh-day Adventist Christian, I was taught about the health benefits of veganism, but no one really pushed it, and it was more or less talked about in a suggestion and a recommendation, not in the sense of like, this actually is going to help you in all the areas of your body. Start off simple, just like I recommend other people do, and that is one meal at a time. Even if you can go one plate at a time, that's great. Like one plate in one of the days of the week. But I started off with breakfast. Breakfast was the first thing that changed. And she was talking about a glowing green smoothie. And that's exactly what I did. I started off with a smoothie, and it changed my life. It changed my breakfast. I still was eating oatmeal at the time and still eating other little things, but once I incorporated the smoothie, it was actually so filling that I couldn't really drink or eat anything else with it. Now from there, I gradually added more and more vegetables. I went to different markets, learned about different foods. I did research on what paired well with what. That way it enhanced the nutrition for me and the flavor. Now from there, 3 months later, I actually started my menstrual cycle completely pain-free. And when I tell you that was a change, and I try not to get emotional every time I talk about it, it was amazing. There is no one that can tell me who's been through cramps, who's been through that kind of pain. And again, I've had 2 kids. I know what pain feels like. This is worse than that pain. I always describe endometriosis pain as taking the 2 hooks on the other side of a hammer and shoving it inside your abdomen and scraping down. It's not even worth it. This time it came like a normal human being, and I couldn't believe it. I rushed to my doctor as soon as possible, and he did an ultrasound, and he said he didn't see any scarring at all. Now before, they had saw plenty of scarring in my uterus, and now there was no scarring at all. It was completely reversed. And then a couple months later, I was pregnant with my first child. That pregnancy was so smooth. Every single person was like, you're just getting bigger and bigger. Now, let me just say, I gained over 100 pounds during that pregnancy, but it's okay. My baby was healthy and I was healthy too. Once I started this journey, there was no way of going back. Once the endometriosis is gone, why would I want pain? And how many times do you hear, because I know I hear it all the time, oh, you must be tempted by this burger or this cake or this. No, I'm not tempted by any of those things, because if you felt the pain that I felt, you would never want to return to it. Now, some of the learning curves I had during this journey was I learned how to grocery shop. I learned how to use whole foods and how to budget a whole lot better. There's no vegetable or no fruit that I won't try. Might not like it, but I definitely will try it. And this gives me so much time to be creative in the kitchen. This is also an example to my family and to my kids that you can try anything and that there's so much variety out there. There is too many fruits and vegetables and grains that we don't even know about. Now, what surprised me the most 12 years later is that I have the energy of people 10 years younger than me. I have the emotional stamina of people who are 10 years older than me. And as a person with ADHD, mental stamina I've gotten from this has been awesome. With all this inspired me to want to help others to do the same and let them know that they don't have to be perfect, that is very simple, and how to be able to do this with a busy life, because my life has never slowed down. Now here we are 12 years later, and can you believe still thriving, still having the energy, learning about my body each and every day, knowing that I'm feeding good health instead of feeding the bad health in my body. I wasn't trying to focus on reversing anybody's diseases or becoming a medical professional. That wasn't it at all. What I knew was I wanted to dive deeper into nutrition, so I took some more classes, I got certified, I worked really hard, and just so you know, I am going back to school again to get another degree because public health and nutrition is so vast. I want to learn more. Now, 3 things that helped me during this journey. 1 was education, learning from different books and different people, going to different seminars, trying to find out what I can do to eat the best for my body. Empowerment. I am the only plant-based eater in my family. That's including my husband, that's including my extended family. It is just me. And using practical tools. So we have social media, we have the library, we have so many different resources, communities, Facebook groups, meetups. These are ways to connect with different people from different walks of life, but on the same plant-based journey. And my focus has always been on people who are super busy and believe they don't have time. So there's been too many horror stories where people are like, oh, I went plant-based for 2 weeks. It was so hard. And I'm like, it is hard, but anything that you really want is hard, and it's not for the weak. So I'm here to tell you and encourage you to keep going if you are on this journey, to keep going if you're interested and curious and just starting on this journey. And if you need any help with just starting, definitely click the link below for my busy person emergency meal guide. Now, I'm not going to say that this happens for everyone. I just know that this miracle happened for me, and I definitely wanted to share and inspire someone else to do whatever it takes for you to live your healthiest and best life. Food didn't just change my plate, it changed my relationship with my body. I'm so glad you had a chance to listen. If you have any questions, definitely put in the comments. I love hearing about other people's stories and their journey. If you like videos like this, please like and subscribe, come back. And I hope this inspired you to nourish your body so that you can thrive in all the energy that you have. See you next time. And you made it. So Veg Mom Go is not just a channel for mini meal preps, but is also for people who want the nutrition facts that their body needs quickly in their chaotic lives. So join me for more ideas that will inspire you to eat on your best journey. See you next time.